Okay, we're live on YouTube.
Okay, and Don, I'll make you host again, and if you could make
Thank
me
you.
co-host as well, please.
All right, I will. All right, Betsy. Where'd you go, Betsy? Co-host. Perfect. Okay. And as soon as the captioning is ready, we will get started. Okay, captioner is ready. So do you want to get started, Anita, or do we have, so Alan's not? We have everyone but one. Yeah, we don't see Jim and Alan. Are we missing anybody else?
We should have 11. I don't see any emails from Alan.
There are only 8 people. We're missing Alan,
Joanne?
we're missing Alan, Joanne, and Jim. Okay, so the captioner said that the audio is low and there's a beeping. Okay, we'll fix that. The captioner says audio is low and there's a beeping. Are we using the mic on my computer?
No.
Okay.
My computer.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be up. I don't know what beeping is. I'm not hearing that on mine.
Okay. We're not hearing a beeping here.
I can hear it. Donna, this is Shirley. It's just a little low beeping, like, I don't know, like a alarm of a phone or something.
Can you see? So please turn the audio on. You should see what who's on music.
So if everybody could mute their lines, we can see if it goes away. Okay. So are you still hearing it, Terry? Oh, they're all shaking their head, yeah.
Okay, let me check on mine.
All right, well, we're going to check on that, so give us a second.
That means we'll say yes to anything.
Joanne will be coming on in a minute. She's
Okay.
running behind. I don't see anything from Alan.
Hey, Chris, can you mute your line too? Just check. Thank you. Let me make sure everybody else is muted. See if we can get rid of that beeping. So is it still, do you still have that low level beeping?
Maybe something with the YouTube connection, like, because I think everybody is, but that's better.
Yeah, we're not hearing it here. I don't know what we can do about it without shutting everything down and opening up everything again.
You could try switching over to the computer audio, but that is going to be somewhere too.
Right, if we switch over to the computer audio, you're only going to hear me and not Anita. Sorry.
That's mine.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to.
You're right, okay. Okay. So do you all want to proceed on? Is it something that is to the point where you can't continue? It's really loud in your head, captioner.
You're still switching.
So we can try switching over to computer audio. I do have my headset with me.
Do anything.
It would just take us about 5 minutes.
Go forward to the wrong.
See, unfortunately, the captioner, it's impacting her.
I mean, we can try if they think the sound's coming from here. If it's coming from like the connection with the YouTube thing,
Right.
then there's.
Well, some of these individuals are on YouTube.
Right.
Right, okay.
Well, I'm just wondering if the connection between the call
Right.
and YouTube is,
Did you all hear it before we went live on YouTube? No?
Yeah, I don't know, Donna, when it started. I've been pretty much hearing it since we've been on, but I don't remember
All right, so
specifically.
we're gonna go on hold, I guess, for about 5 minutes and switch over to computer audio to try and see if we can, if that makes it any better. I need to run upstairs and get my headset. And we need to see if we can get you a headset. So we're gonna need about 5 minutes, to do that switch over, and then, so it's 10:04, we'll be back, 10:10.
This is Anita. Can you hear me?
So Anita, this is Shirley. We could hear you, but there was a big echo. But the noise from the little buzzing is gone. The little thing is gone.
Buzzing is gone?
Yep.
Okay.
As soon
All
as
right.
Donna muted her phone, muted her phone, it went away.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Give us just a couple more
Now
minutes.
we can hear you fine. Now you're fine.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, is this better?
This is Megan. Yeah, it's gone for me, Donna.
believe in America. No, it's impossible. No way. And what if I told you, even though some might have been armed, not sure about that. What if I told you nobody pulled a gun, nobody had a weapon, they had some clubs, they had some pepper spray,
Alan, we're getting some noise from you. If you could mute, we'd appreciate that. Thanks.
Okay, we're just one last final check to make sure there's an echo is gone when I'm speaking. Nobody hears an echo?
No, you're good, Donna.
Perfect. All right, we figured it out. All righty, thank you all for your patience. I'm going to mute myself and Anita's going to unmute herself and we'll get moving.
Okay. Okay. Are we on? We good? Okay. Whew. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Employment Service Organization Steering Committee meeting for January 12th, 2021. I'm going to go over some housekeeping rules for us to get started. Due to the active state of emergency, this is an electronic meeting of the 2020 Appropriation Act. Meeting notices have been provided. The meeting is being recorded and minutes are being taken. All votes will be conducted via a roll call of voting members. Members are participating via Zoom. Meeting materials are posted under the Employment Service Organization Steering Committee's meeting tab at the link posted in the slide. Members of the public are able to live stream this meeting via the DARS YouTube page. Please be advised that if the live stream is interrupted, we will need to pause the meeting until it is restored. Public comment will be accepted by email to the attention of Anita Mundy, Provider Program Specialist, and staff to this committee. Public comments that were received by January 5th, 2021 will be read, or if lengthy, summarized during the meeting when we reach the agenda item. For all votes, we will do a roll call and you will be asked to indicate support, yes or no, or abstain. Zoom housekeeping. Members, please keep your microphone on mute unless you are speaking. This helps reduce the background noise. Before you speak, please state your name. Not only does this help your colleagues on the committee know who is talking, but it also helps Anita with documenting the meetings and the captioner with providing real-time captioning. Members, please enable your video and please be aware the system may capture your image and video during the public streaming and recording. You may use the chat features as well, and those will be monitored. You may also use reactions to do thumbs up for agreement or clap to raise your hand to speak. These are also being monitored. If you would like to view the real-time captioning of today's meeting, please click on CC button on menu bar at bottom and select Show Subtitles. Captioning is not automatic for members in the Zoom. You will need to turn it on. For those watching via YouTube, captioning will be provided with the streaming. There is an ASL interpreter available for today's meeting. Lastly, I would like to thank the DARS video teleconferencing team and the DARS communication team for making this electronic meeting possible. The purpose of the Employment Service Organization Steering Committee is to report to and advise the Commissioner on policy, funding, okay, please hold for one moment. Hold on. I have to close out. The purpose of the Employment Service Organization Steering Committee is to report to and advise the Commissioner on policy, funding, and the allocation of funds to employment service organizations for long-term employment support services and extended employment services. At this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to the Chair, Shirley Lyons.
All right, thank you, everybody, for the patience. I'm going to call the meeting to
Shirley is
order.
muted.
I am.
One
Can you
moment,
guys hear
Shirley.
me?
You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order at 10:15 a.m. and we'll commence with a roll call to establish a quorum. I'll just note that normally 5 members must be present physically to constitute a quorum, but due to the current pandemic, Governor Northam has approved that notwithstanding any other provision of law, any public body, including any state, local, regional, or regulatory body may meet by electronic communication means without a quorum of the public body physically assembled at the one location when in a state of emergency. So we will go through the roll call. Please indicate that you are here by saying aye. Robin Metcalf.
Sorry, aye.
Jim Finnerty. And I don't think Jim has joined yet. Chuck McElroy.
Aye.
Alan Hargraves.
Aye.
Joanne Aceto.
I'm here, Shirley.
Megan, oh, okay, Joanne, good. Megan Bergen.
Aye.
Teresa Hall.
Aye.
Chris Lavich.
Aye.
Stephanie, and I apologize if I say your name wrong, Stephanie Hoer.
Aye, and it's pronounced her.
Her, okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Jason Harper.
Aye.
Anita Monday is here. Kathy Mayfield, I believe, is joining us later. Dale Batten.
Here. Good morning.
Donna. Good morning, Dale. Donna is here. Leah Mills.
Here.
Elizabeth Patica.
Here.
And I don't believe I saw Deonica or Catherine. Is that correct from DARS?
Dianca is monitoring.
Okay. Is there any other members or DARS representatives? All right, hearing none, we have established a quorum. The next item on the agenda is to review the meeting minutes from October 6th and the proposed agenda and the the meeting times. So first, we need to approve the meeting minutes from October 6th. These were sent out to committee members prior to the meeting. First, I will ask if there's any corrections to the minutes. Hearing none, I will move to ask the committee to make a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved by Chuck McElroy.
And a second.
Second, Shirley.
Is that Robin?
Yes.
Anita, do we need to do a roll call or can we just ask for an affirmation from the committee?
Roll call.
That's what I was afraid you were going to say. All right, we're going to do a roll call for approval of the minutes. Robin Metcalf,
So approved.
Chuck McElroy,
Aye.
Alan Hargraves,
Aye.
Joanna Cito,
Aye.
Megan Bergen,
Aye.
Teresa Hall,
Aye.
Chris Lavich,
Aye.
Stephanie Herr,
Aye.
Jason Harper.
Aye.
I also vote aye. That means the motion has been approved. You have received an agenda with your material. Is there any additions to or corrections to the agenda that any of the committee would like to propose? Hearing none. At the time the agenda is presented, it is in order for any member to move to amend this agenda, but once approved, it is the agenda we will follow. I need a motion to approve as presented.
So moved. This is Megan.
In a second,
This is Chris.
by-
Second.
thank you. We will need to do a roll call to approve the agenda. I vote aye. Robin Metcalf,
Aye.
Chuck,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Joanne,
Aye.
Megan,
Aye.
Teresa,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Stephanie, Stephanie, I'm not sure I heard you.
Aye.
And Jason.
Aye.
All right, the agenda has been approved. We now will move into public comment. Anita, is there any public comment that was submitted?
Notice of the meeting was sent out on December 10th, 2020. There was no public comment received by the deadline of January 5th, 2021.
Thank you. Public comment period has now ended. Okay. Well, first, we'd like to welcome our newly appointed Senate-appointed committee member. We'd like to welcome Stephanie Herr as a new member. She's representing the Virginia Goodwill Network. She joined Goodwill of the Valleys as a case manager in 2001, and in April 2004 was promoted to program coordinator for employment and training services, where she managed 3 programs serving adult and youth with disabilities and pursuing competitive employment. She was recognized by the Department of Aging and Rehab Services in 2007 for her work with adults in the work adjustment training programs, and was a founding member that brought the Project Search to the Roanoke Valley in 2010. In 2011, Stephanie was promoted to Youth Services Director for Goodwill Industries, and in 2013 was awarded the Roger Matthews Lifetime Achievement Award by Goodwill Industries for her active role in the development and growth of the agency. Today, she serves as the Senior Director of Program Services, responsible for the oversight of mission services programming for Goodwill. She was raised in Blacksburg, Virginia, Graduated from Roanoke College with her BA in Criminal Justice in 1999 and Hollins University with a master's in leadership in 2016. Welcome, Stephanie. We appreciate that your willingness to join us.
Thank you very
Welcome,
much.
Stephanie.
Thank you.
Welcome, Stephanie.
All right. Anita is going to review our committee responsibilities, bylaws, and conflict of interest information that we need to do annually. So Anita, I don't know where that came from. Anita, you're up.
Okay, thank you. And I apologize that the screen is not continuing. We're having some difficulties on this end. We could pause for just a moment. Okay. Got it now. Okay, thank you. At this time, we're going to review the committee responsibilities, bylaws, conflict of interest, and financial disclosure requirements. A handout was provided to the committee members of the Employment Service Organization Steering Committee bylaws established December 2nd, 2019. Have all the committee members have an opportunity to review the ESOSC bylaws?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there any questions for the bylaws? Okay. Okay. The committee is reminded that it must remain transparent to the public and abide by FOIA requirements. If 3 or more members meet, it is considered a meeting and counts towards the guidelines regarding meetings as stated in the Employment Service Organization Steering Committee Code of Virginia. Members should not discuss this group's business at other functions with other board members to ensure members abide by FOIA guidelines. A member may report out during the other meetings, but may not discuss committee business. Those are just a couple of the important pieces that I wanted to review again. The committee will use Robert's Rules of Order to conduct all business. The committee shall consist of 11 non-legislated citizen members who shall be appointed as follows. There are 4 members that were appointed by the Senate Committee on Rules, 5 members that were appointed by the Speaker of the House of Delegates, and 2 at-large members to be appointed by the governor. What I'd like to review now is the conflict of interest and financial disclosure requirements. Okay, please pause for just a moment. Shirley, would you please say test?
Test. Anita, did you get that?
Yes, could you do it one more time, please?
Test.
1, 2, 3.
Can we do that one more time, please?
Testing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I am. Okay, I'd like to go ahead and review the conflict of interest and financial disclosure requirements. I do apologize that we're not on the correct screen. Has all the committee members received an email regarding financial disclosure and conflict of interest?
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
Has anyone not? Okay. There are two requirements related to conflicts of interest in the financial disclosure. There's a training webinar requirement, and there's a separate form filing requirement. Appointed board members must comply with both with the training webinar and filing of the form. You should have received the information, and that information provided you with a link for that information. Also, Cecily Slazer at DARS is your point of contact if there's questions there. And you've also been provided with a link to the Virginia Conflict of Interest and Ethics Advisory Counselor. It is required that forms are filed annually, and the forms for this period are due by February 1st. So if you have not, I've seen that several of the committee members have already completed the training. If you have not, please make sure that you complete the training and file the form with the advisory council. Okay, at this point, I would like to go over the Emergency Relief Fund update. On October 6th, 2020, the Employment Service Organization Steering Committee made the recommendation to Commissioner Hayfield to make available unspent lettuce and EES funds from the first quarter of the lettuce EES fiscal year. Commissioner Hayfield accepted the recommendation to make available $843,199 to ESOs as COVID relief funds for expenses associated with employment-related services incurred during the first quarter, which is June through August 2020 of the 2021 lettuce EES fiscal year. Funds were awarded and based on the number of individuals served by an organization from June 1st, 2020 to August 31st, 2020. During the month of June through August, 3,391 people were served using lettuce or EES funds. The funds were distributed on a per person basis at $248.66 per person served in the first quarter. So the $3,391 was divided into the $843,199, and that's how we came up, DARS came up with the number of $248.66. On November 2nd, DARS sent out 56 organization-specific relief applications to all eligible organizations. As of the November 16th return deadline, 45 organizations had responded. Out of those 45 responses, 44 organizations submitted relief applications. This gives a $84,538.09 balance that was not used from the relief fund. Are there any questions? Okay. At this point, I want to hand the meeting over to Donna Benessi, who will review the second quarter spending report with a breakdown by organization.
Hi, everybody. Anita, can you turn your speakers off? Yes? Okay, everybody can hear me? I will turn my speakers on while you're all talking, but that means Anita can't hear you all. I apologize for all of these audio issues. This is the first time we've had them, and we'll make sure that they don't occur next time. But everybody can hear me okay. Okay, so second quarter, you should have all received the second quarter review. We do want to start with the summary, the spending summary. As you can see, there wasn't a whole lot different from quarter one to quarter two. There was a little, we had a little less balance in EES. There was a little uptick in spending for EES in the second quarter. Lettuce was right around the same. There was only a $3,000 difference in lettuce spending. It was a little bit more, $3,000 more. So all total, we had an ending balance for just the second quarter of $782,980, just so about $783,000 less than what we expected to traditionally spend during the second quarter. So year-to-date balance of what was not a balance, our expected versus actual was $1.6 million, $1,626,000. We, the first quarter COVID relief was $758,661. That leaves a year-to-date balance of $867,518. So we are on still trending to have over $3 million balance at the end of this year. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Are there any questions about any of this? I did do the projection review compared to state fiscal year 21 to state fiscal year 20. There's not much difference from last quarter. Are there any questions on any of this? We did include the per vendor projections. I think it is important to note that there are right now some vendors that are projected to have outstanding balances. So when we talk about, I think the next agenda item is talking about potential use for the current balance, we need to keep in mind that there are some providers that are projected right now to be have outstanding balances, and we will need to be able to cover those. Doesn't seem like that's going to be much of an issue, but I just want everybody to keep that in mind as we get through the next quarter, the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter to remember that those balances will be there. And I think it was the projected outstanding balance, it was right around $350,000 right now. And for just pulling out those individual vendors and what their outstanding balance would be. Of course, you know, we are looking at the $3.2 million balance in the fund. So as it stands now, we'll be able to cover that, but I just want everybody to be mindful of that we need to be able to cover that outstanding. Any questions on the material? Any questions, comments?
Donna, this is Chris Lavish. Are you sharing your screen? I still have Anita's screen up. I have the document.
No, I'm not sharing anything.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't sharing anything.
No worries. I've got it in front of me anyway. I just wanted to make sure for our viewing audience.
No, we posted all of this on the website prior to today's meeting.
Donna, being that I'm a person who's not a financial wizard, the projected balances that are in parentheses, that's the balances that you're assuming they're going to be over their allotment. Is that correct?
You're on the individual ESO breakdown?
Yes.
Yes. Those are projected to be outstanding balances.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure my financial brain is working correctly. Jason, I saw that you had unmuted. Did you want to ask a question?
Yes, I was just curious if there were any inquiries from the General Assembly, or if there were any concerns that they may come and try to sweep some of this money.
Not that's come to my attention.
Okay.
Now, Commissioner Hayfield will be joining us, I believe, after her meeting. Not that I'm aware of. And Dee Dee, I know you're here. I'm not sure if you're aware of anything.
No, I am not at this point. No.
Jason, this is Robin. I don't think we even know that yet. Today's the first day of the legislative session. It's definitely something to keep our ears open for, but they won't necessarily even know about it unless somebody brings it to their attention.
That's good to know. Just being that we all, represent advocacy organizations, I think it's important that, if there were any sort of word that we would want to get out in front of that, because I know that this emergency funding has been a lifeline for a lot of our organizations.
Well, and it also begs the question about what to do going forward regarding maybe additional emergency funding.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the next topic. Are there any more questions on the projections on any of this?
Donna, there's several organizations that it looks like have not billed anything for the year yet. Has there been any outreach to those organizations to determine if they're planning on or not planning on?
There have been. There are a couple of organizations that just have not provided services yet. They're still in a closed mode. They do intend to provide services again. They just have not started yet. There are several organizations that are no longer providing services, but they have an allocation, so they're still on here. So any organization that has an allocation, even if they're no longer providing services, is on here because we need to account for that allocation. We do have there's 3 new organizations, 2 of which have not started providing services yet, and that's on the Lettuce Fund. I don't know if we had any new organizations new this year for EES. I don't see any new organizations, but the same for EES. There are some organizations that just have not started providing services again. But it looks like most of it on EES are new organizations that received funding in that, when we did that 2 years ago. So that would have been the beginning of fiscal year 19? No, the beginning of fiscal year 20, I think it was, when we added on all those new vendors. They still have not started using those funds yet.
Donna, this is Robin. Will Versability be assuming hired hands funds?
Yes. Yeah, those 2 organizations will be merged together.
Thank you.
And Donna, can you tell us which organizations are no
that till
longer?
the end. Okay. Sir, no longer operating?
Yes.
On your Lettuce, Portco is no longer a Lettuce EES vendor. That's why they're highlighted, and I need to highlight the other one. Lutheran Family Services of Virginia is no longer a provider. I think that's the only 2 that are no longer providers. Let me check this real quick. Yes, those are the only 2 that are no longer providers. The other ones have not restarted services yet. Alexandria is not restarted Lettuce services yet. They just restarted their EES services recently. Jackson River has not restarted their services yet. The other providers on here that haven't started services yet just have not been. Those are new providers that have not started, that haven't started serving anybody yet. Under the EES, most of those organizations, except for Portco, are still all of those organizations are still providers. As far as we know, we haven't been told that they're no longer providing services, but they just have not started providing services under EES yet. Some of the other ones that have been, for example, Versability or Alexandria, who just started providing services, you'll see Frontier Health, they have just not started providing these services again. Melwood, those are the group types of services that they just have not been providing right now.
Donna, this is Robin. I guess I'm a little confused about not providing services again when we talk about Lattice, unless they don't have anyone working.
And some of those organizations don't have people working currently right now, especially in those group situations.
Okay.
They just don't have people who are working.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any other questions or comments from the committee regarding the balances and the both the summaries and the individual sections? So Donna, what I'm hearing you say is that there's a current year-to-date balance through the second quarter of $782,000 plus the $84,000. Is that? Did I write that down correctly?
Yes, you did. There is. So currently, the first quarter balance is $84,538,000. The second quarter balance is $782,980, which leaves a year-to-date balance of $867,518.
Thank you. Any other questions for Donna? All right, thank you, Donna and Anita, for your reports. So that leads us into the next agenda item, which is projected balance discussions around what to recommend to the commissioner for these balances. Again, we're looking at about $867,000, $867,518 to be more exact. And it has been the work of this committee to make proposals to the commissioner to use that money in ways that are different than the traditional use of that money. So I'll entertain any discussion, conversation regarding that with committee members.
I would continue to recommend that we utilize it as emergency relief funds for ESOs.
This is Chuck, I would be in concurrence with that.
Any other conversation regarding the methodology of that? We've done it different ways each time.
This is Jason. I think the methodology of the last round was fair and equitable to all the organizations.
I agree.
I agree with that.
Any other conversations? Discussion? Thoughts of other ways to use the money? Hearing none, would someone like to make a motion?
This is Jason. I'd like to make a motion that DARS do what would be, I guess, a fourth round of the emergency relief funds for the ESOs based on average spending and using the methodology that they did in the previous relief fund.
I second that motion.
Was that Alan?
Yes.
Thank you. I want to make sure I recognize the right voice. Anita, did you get all that, what you have?
I have that Mr. Harper motioned that DARS does a fourth round of emergency relief funds to ESOs based on average spending using the current methodology. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And I have that Alan Harper seconded the motion.
Hargraves.
Alan Hargraves.
I'm sorry, Helen Hargraves.
Jason
Sorry
Harper,
about that.
Alan Hargraves. That's okay. We just want to make sure the minutes are correct.
Absolutely. And would you all like to call a vote for that?
Yes, I would like to call a vote for that. Let me find my list. We will use a roll call vote. If you agree with the motion, you would say yes. If not, you would say no, or you have the option to abstain. I would vote yes. Robin Metcalf,
You're muted, Robin.
Robin, can you unmute? Because we didn't hear you.
I'm
There you go.
unmuted now. Sorry, technical difficulties. Aye.
All right. Jim Finnerty, I don't know if he's been joined the call yet. Okay. Chuck McElroy,
Yes.
Alan,
Yes.
Joanne,
Yes.
Megan,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Stephanie,
Yes.
Jason,
I've made the motion, but yes.
you still have to approve your
Oh, I
motion.
do. Okay. All right. Thank you, Shirley. Alrighty,
All right, this motion was approved. Is there any other discussion regarding the use of unspent funds that we want to have on the record?
We had talked about prior to COVID of using unused funds for training. And my hope is that there will be a day where we don't need these relief funds and we can use those funds for training.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is the 70-hour minimum EES work requirements. A handout was provided in the information sent out to the committee members. As was noted at the committee's meeting in October, this past year, 12 out of the 30 organizations did not meet the 70-hour work requirement. COVID probably had a hand in this, so it was decided at that time that analyzing this data would not paint an accurate picture of the situation. What recommendations would this committee like to make in regard to this, regarding organizations who are not meeting the 70-hour minimum EES requirements?
This is Chuck. I don't know that anything has changed, and unfortunately, I think we just need to kick this agenda item down the road again.
Okay. Other committee members?
This is Megan. I agree with Chuck. We don't have the appropriate data to make a decision to do anything at this point.
All right, so what I'm hearing from the committee is that it is suggested that we just shelve this particular agenda item until a future meeting when we may have more accurate data after the COVID pandemic and people are billing more regularly and serving individuals in a more regular basis. Could I have, I guess I would need a motion for that. To move this agenda item as a placeholder, but not discuss it until future information is available to us, more accurate information is available.
This is Stephanie. I'll make a motion to table this item until we have greater data with which to make an informed decision.
I need a second.
Chuck will second that.
Anita, could you read that back to us, please?
No data at this time. I'll need to make this sound a little bit better, but at this time, there's no data to continue discussion for the 70-hour minimum. The committee would like to shelve this discussion for a future meeting after COVID so that discussion can continue.
Okay.
Was that
Could
Stephanie?
you use the word? Yes, Stephanie made the motion, Chuck seconded it, and could you use the word table the discussion?
Okay.
I think that sounds better than shelve.
Okay.
And maybe
All right,
the
we have
word-
a motion. I'm
this-
sorry.
And this is Jason, maybe the word sufficient data instead of no data.
Okay. So what if we say that it would be to table this discussion until sufficient data is available in order to hold a accurate conversation regarding the 70-hour requirement for work under EES?
I think that sounds
Stephanie and
good.
Chuck, Stephanie and Chuck, I need you to on record agree that that would be your motion.
I agree.
I agree also. Chuck.
Okay, that motion is on the table. We'll do a roll call vote. Robin,
Aye.
Chuck,
Aye.
Alan, Alan,
Yes.
Aye. Having some technical
Joanne?
difficulty.
no problem. Just checking, make sure you were there. All right, Joanne gave an aye. Megan,
Aye.
Teresa,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Stephanie,
Aye.
Jason.
Aye.
The motion has carried. Any, has the commissioner joined us?
The commissioner has not joined us. She is still held up in another meeting.
All
Would we
right.
like to continue to the next item and then see if she is able to join us?
Sure. The next agenda item is to talk about our next agenda and other business. The next ESOSC meeting is scheduled for April 13th, 2021. Due to the pandemic, a decision will be made at a later date whether or not this will be in-person or electronic meeting. Committee members will be made aware of this information closer to the date. Okay, that's, that's the agenda. Is there any agenda items individuals on the committee would like to see on our next agenda?
Shirley, this is Robin. I'm hoping by the next meeting, maybe things will be a little more positive and we can address where DARS plans to go with pre-ed services.
Is that a Let Us EES topic? Is my question.
That's probably not actually. No, it's probably not a lettuce EES topic, no.
Okay.
So I guess then the question is, what is the best form in which to address that issue?
I would guess it's the meetings that Donna has just put out that she will be having as the forum meetings. Updates from DARS would be my suggestion on that.
And Robin, we can put that on the ESO monthly call agenda.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Shirley, this is Joanne. This might be a topic for us, but it also might be a topic for the other group. Is just some clarification and updates as to how things are going with people getting reinstated into their jobs and DARS funding, whether that, and that does impact lettuce funding in terms of people who might have been laid off and are going to be going right back to the same job that they had before, so that it would not involve any specific job training, but how are different offices handling that? And if we can get an update, that would be appreciated.
All right, if I'm understanding you correctly, Joanne, we'd like to get a clarification or a report from DARS or an update from DARS on how many placements they're seeing, reinstated jobs from people who were laid off from the pandemic, and how their caseloads are progressing in terms of referring out for placement and training from ESOs. Is that?
Yes, or just jumping right into lettuce. I mean, that could possibly happen,
Right,
but yes,
right.
an update from them would be appreciated.
This is Jason. Also, we had discussed in one of our meetings, DARS was updating their system and was working on combining some of the ESOs that, some ESOs have 2 or 3 lettuce allocations, like a central and a north, or a central and a west. I believe they had talked about combining those into just one ESO. Is there any update on that?
That has been, this is Anita, that has been completed, and those organizations that were affected, those agreements have been collapsed into one agreement.
Okay.
So Donna,
One or two
is that,
agreements.
Okay.
is that reflected in the list of ESOs on the
This
the
is
list?
Anita, and yeah, yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Any other agenda items people would like to see on the agenda in the at the next meeting, or any in other month down the road?
I'm assuming there are no new applications for lettuce vendors.
At this time, we don't have anyone that has gotten through the CARF accreditation process yet for new vendors. So we do not have any new vendors at this time.
All right, thank you. Any other agenda items or questions? All right.
Shirley, this is Chuck. I
yeah.
guess with the commissioner's conflict, if it would be appropriate for us to ask her to just to give a short email to the committee members with any updates germane to this committee.
I think that could be requested. Donna and Anita, do you think that would be something the commissioner would be willing to do?
Yes, I'm sure she'd be willing to do that.
Okay.
I'll send her an email today.
Okay. I would like to add for the next meeting to the agenda item a discussion, and I don't know if it would be part of the use of the unprojected balance discussion, but I would like to add and give the committee time to think about it and think about what proposals might be made. It has been a couple years since the EES and lettuce providers were provided an opportunity to increase their rates. And I think it's worth having the conversation of what would need to be in place for that to happen and how that might happen, especially given the fact that we do have large balances, and this would be another way of helping providers by increasing their rates to so that the money they do bill is better reflective of the costs that they have. So I would like to add that to the agenda for the next committee so that we can have that conversation and discussion.
Shirley, can I get some clarification? Is that, are you talking about separate rates like VR rates and lettuce EES rates?
Well, our current contracts provide us the opportunity to increase our rates, and that impacts our lettuce and EES rates as well as our VR rates. But we have a balance in EES and lettuce, and we're using emergency relief funds. So rather than always having to do emergency relief, another way of spending that money in a better way would be to increase the rates to the providers so that the services they are providing better meets their costs, since there have been years where we haven't had an increase, and they are supposed to be cost-based increases. So costs go up, but the rates don't go up. So therefore, we're not necessarily meeting our costs with the rates that we currently have. So I just want to have a conversation about that and see if there's a proposal we can make to the commissioner regarding the rates for EES and lettuce.
Okay, I've got it down. Thank you.
Yep. All right, any other discussion, any other agenda items? Given that the commissioner is not able to join us at this time, I would ask Dee Dee, as one of the DARS representatives, is there any updates you would like to provide to us in lieu of the commissioner?
Thank you, Shirley. I don't have a lot to give you information on. I did hear the questions that's being asked of clients being served and back into employment, so we will get those numbers together for you all. We had our staff stop face-to-face meetings after Thanksgiving until the date we had initially was this coming Friday, January the 15th. With the numbers increasing, we will be discussing tomorrow whether that will actually take place starting next Monday. So we will definitely, after tomorrow, make sure that you all are hearing what we are proposing. If we're not having clients come back into one-on-one visits in the office, January, whatever the next, well, Monday's a holiday, so it'll be the 19th. We are truly not wanting clients, as you all are in all your organizations, not exposed as much as possible. We do want to continue everything that you're doing for us. So if there's something that's going on that we need to modify because of us not doing face-to-face meeting in the offices, please let us know. You can contact me directly, or you can contact the district directors or the managers, however you're communicating with them now. But definitely I am available if you want to chat about some options of how we can move services forward based on the numbers increasing and trying to keep clients safe. That's the main thing, Shirley. We don't have any information yet about our staff being receiving the vaccine. There is communication from the Commissioner's Office with the Department of Health about when our staff that serve our customers, particularly our AT staff that go into homes, may be getting the vaccine. So you all are probably doing the same thing. So we can definitely continue to collaborate about that. You may have information I don't already know. Happy to share it with me or negotiate, collaborate on that. That would be great. Any questions from me from my seat?
Dee Dee, this is Joanne. With the counselors, again, not doing the face-to-face meetings, which we certainly understand because the numbers are going up. What is the impact for that for new referrals then, as we're referring cases to DARS and trying to get, because many of us are doing, people want to work and there are jobs out there. So what is the impact for that with not having face-to-face to get a case started?
We have always still continued to get intakes. So our numbers each week is steadily increasing. We haven't seen a decline. We did at Christmas as usual, but just last week, the numbers increased in offices in terms of applications. So I think everybody's kind of getting accustomed to the new system, and we are actually taking in applications and processing cases and getting with you all for whatever services we need to provide. So right now, Joanne, I think we're doing okay with that, even though we're not seeing them face to face. The reason we want to do face to face, there were some that said they really need to get into the office for various reasons. Some were assessment purposes from our current staff, internal assessments, and then just clients need to communicate better face to face. But in light of that now stopped, applications are still being received each week. I get a report every Friday.
Okay, thank you.
Shirley, I don't have anything else. We actually, you all, doesn't have to do a lot with letters EES, but our Comprehensive Center in Fishersville, Virginia, WWRC, we had clients initially planned to come back on site January the 25th. We're in conversation and discussion about moving that virtually to begin that process. Just so you all can FYI.
Thank you, Dee Dee. That's very helpful to hear that information. Does anyone else have any questions or comments for Dee Dee?
Good to see all of you all. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Hopefully 2021 will get better as we move forward here. Having heard no other comments or questions, is there any other business that needs to be brought before the committee from the committee members? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Is Chuck so moved?
A second?
I'll second it. This is Robin.
All right, let me find my agenda here. All right, motion to adjourn is on the table. All in favor? Robin?
Aye.
Chuck?
Aye.
Alan? Joanne,
Aye.
Megan,
Aye.
Teresa,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Stephanie,
Aye.
Jason,
Aye.
Alan, I'm going to give you another chance. I didn't hear you. Is he still on?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, a motion to adjourn has passed. I thank you all for your attendance today and for all of the conversation and discussion. We are adjourning at 11:15. And we hope to see you in person in April.
We can
Thanks,
hope.
Shirley. Happy New Year, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Shirley.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Hey, guys.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.